And I'm just fascinated. That's what, like when I see Marshall Warfield or somebody at the Comedy Store, I always go up and say hi.
Yeah.
And go, welcome back. I know.
But really, what happened at Pineapple Express?
We'd actually love to know.
Seems like a running discussion of your trailer. I feel like you were disrespected in some way. I don't take responsibility for any of it, by the way.
We should run it
I
back.
have people who are supposed to manage you correctly. But what happened?
What happened? Episode 1, I think, was dedicated to your the pain you felt.
Of what? Pineapple Express?
I think so. I think we dedicated a whole episode.
What pain?
You shared pain and anger towards that.
Oh, okay.
They didn't have a trailer for you. That's what I heard you say.
Right.
They didn't have
Okay.
But let me just say one thing. When I heard you say that, first of all, I want to be honest about it because I don't want you to feel bad about it. But I am a super people pleaser. There's nothing I want more than every actor or crew person to feel very respected. So the idea that you showed up and they didn't have a trailer for you.
No, you have it wrong. Everyone in the room has it wrong.
Okay,
right?
here we go.
That's your side.
So I was a crybaby.
Yeah.
All right, so let me just apologize. I'm a little bitch baby. Okay?
Bitch baby Bobby.
So you guys had trailers for me
Yeah.
every time I was there except for one day.
Yeah.
Okay? And that was the day when you guys had a lot of people just shooting that day. You had, I don't know, 30 or 40 fucking people that are on the cast list. You know what I mean?
The big fight scene.
Yeah, it's chaos, right? Production is chaos, right? And you guys said to me, for one day, can you just stay here with these people?
Yeah.
Which happens to be the extras. It's fine.
Say that one more time. More believable.
That's never okay. That's never okay.
It was with the background.
Background actor.
The right background, in which I made very good relationships.
Still talking
Very
to this day.
Never, don't know what they look like.
Okay.
But my point
So
is,
our numbers were wrong. We didn't realize how many people were there, and we didn't have the room for you. And of every person there, we thought you were the one who would take the hit. We could have done it to Ken Jeong. We could have done it.
But you did it.
We could have done it to Craig Robinson or Kevin Corrigan or Gary Cole. There were so many people there. But for some reason, they went down that sheet and they said, let's let Bobby sit with the extras.
oh God.
Atmosphere, by the way.
All right, so you're right, but I made a mistake.
Yeah.
And I made a call to my agent at the time.
Yeah.
And from what I heard, not from you, but from somebody else that was involved in production, that he raised his voice and he was angry.
At us.
Not you
No,
specifically.
but he called us angry.
Yes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I go, why did you do that? You just made a big deal out of nothing. In fact, I left that agency after that. Not right after that, but like 6 months after that. My point being is that we made a complaint. And secondly, here's another thing that I did that I never said out loud.
Reveal it.
And I'm going to reveal it to you. And I want
You left a turd in the toilet. In the trailer.
Smeared it all over.
No, in fact, to poo in those trailers is difficult.
Yeah.
They get stuck on the sides.
Yeah.
So you got to take a bottle of water and do your own fucking
You're
thing.
just like me. I just want to say this is why I like you. Because like the description of like cleaning the poo remnant off the side of the trailer toilet, like most people, Mel Gibson's not cleaning off the side. He's just like, someone will get that later.
Right.
Me and you are like, let me get that.
I can't.
And there's no one. We'll never meet the person that cleans it or through the whole production, but we will do that.
Yeah, we will. What?
You are lying to Judd through your teeth.
He wouldn't clean it.
He would never. He would call me to come over and clean it. That's a fact.
There we go.
He is not his. He is not. He doesn't.
This is 2007, Bobby Lee.
Okay, thank you. Judd.
Who cared more
And
about
I just
that?
want to say something to you, my friend, my girlfriend, I mean, all right? Is that when I do that, right, it's not because for me and I care about my environment. I care about whoever has to clean it after me and whoever maintains those trailers. So I just didn't want them to see that I
had pooed.
went.
He's also pooed in the back of our Prius, and I've
car,
had to
yeah.
In the
collect
car.
it.
On a
In the
frisbee.
On a frisbee. And
On
then-
a paper plate as well, and I've had to collect it.
Okay, he
as
doesn't
well.
need to know that information. That's just crazy.
But the key question is, where does it go right after?
I threw it in a dumpster, and this is information that I don't think Mr. Judd Apatow wants to know, that I put in my Prius.
But was it because there was nowhere to go?
I have...
Well, during the pandemic, here's a good example.
Let's get into this. Yeah.
Nobody, you couldn't just walk into any establishment and say, "Can I use your restroom?" Everyone was like, "Nope, our restrooms."
Thank you.
So we were outside of my dermatology office, and I was like, "For the love of God, please do not poo." He's like, "I have nowhere else to go." So
Wait a second, but you can have like your pimples popped, but he can't poo in a public toilet.
Thank you.
correct. So what I did, I was
Thank
like,
you.
Nice one, Judd.
You know what? That's
Nice
kind of just a little side note
Yeah.
before we even continue. That's why I love this guy, man.
I
He's
noticed
always-
the little details.
Yeah, he knows little details to
detail.
back my up.
I was
back
actually
me
going
up.
to offer you a compliment because this time around he put down a Trader Joe's bag before he pooed on top of it. Before that, he would just bareback it
Yeah.
and go right into the
Oh,
the,
Jesus.
the car upholstery.
Yeah.
This time around, he did think to put something underneath,
Yeah.
and then he packed it up himself. And
And then
he
where'd
did
you
have
put
the-
it?
Yeah.
I went to the nearest
dumpster?
outside dumpster, and sometimes they're locked, right? I didn't put it on top. I found one that was unlocked.
Courteous.
Thank you so much. And I double bagged it. No one smelled anything. Let's move on from it, okay?
It's funny because with poop, right? You have different phases of life where you feel differently about it. Like there's periods of your life where like it's shameful and the door locks and
Yeah.
you clean up and you don't want anyone to know what happens. But then there's other moments in your life where like you literally could just lift your leg like a dog and not care and understand like living in the woods and just like, why do we care? Why are we ashamed? You know?
Yeah.
Give me a fucking
That's
frisbee.
exactly what I wanted to say. I couldn't articulate it as well. In fact, I don't even know if I said articulate right.
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did right, but thank you so much for doing that, my friend.
But what did you do at Pineapple Express that you're ashamed of?
Oh, God, I thought
This is your
I thought we were gonna
revenge
be-
thing.
Now you have to reveal it.
All right, so, and this is so shameful for me, and it's so funny because the AD, right, is the same AD that does a show that I'm on called Reservation Dogs on FX.
Yeah.
And I apologized for her about this when I saw her, when I worked with her.
Oh.
So there was a scene where I got shot in the head by Seth Rogen in the movie.
Yep.
Oh, I feel so shameful. And afterwards, they go, just lay your body down here because we need it for, what do you call it? You know the word.
Continuity?
Continuity. That bodies always have to be there, right? But there were some angles where they were shooting wides and stuff where I just knew for a fact.
I'm not in the shot.
I'm not in the shot.
We made you lay there all day.
Right? Is that me? Yeah. So
I like that this is considered a nice thing I did for you.
Impactful.
Yeah.
Impactful.
thank you for that.
Really this helped the career.
Yeah. So there was a time, like an hour or two in, a couple of setups. I just stood up and I go, I'm not laying there anymore.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, well, it'd just be better if you did. And I remember being kind of a bitch about it. And it's just something that I would never do now. Like I would lay there for 3 days.
But how long was it at that point? How long? Like on and off?
I mean, at the end of the day, probably 30 minutes.
Better question is like, you look pretty. It's a relaxing thing to do. Why wouldn't you just lay there a little longer?
Well, that probably the fake blood probably gets all gooey.
Thank you.
There's flies stuck to it.
But not only that, you don't understand that there's a metal plate in my head.
What? Oh.
There was a metal plate in my head because they had to put an explosive on the other side of the metal plate.
You're laying on a metal plate.
Yeah, so when he's shooting me, right, there's an explosive, right? So now I'm laying, not only there's sticky blood, but there's a metal plate into my brain.
So is this the thing you're ashamed of that you got up?
That I didn't sit there forever, and I apologize.
Okay. Well, that's actually
Those
not
are
too
two
bad.
things
But
about
you know how you know we were abusive to you?
And you've said this before, and I disagree. Go ahead.
Is that you got up and we were like, all right. Like we didn't need you. You weren't in the shot.
Right.
Can I tell you something that's like terrible about maybe the early stages of my career?
Go ahead.
There is nothing I would have found funnier than to make you lay in blood all day off camera, telling you you're on camera. Like, I wouldn't do that now, but as a young person.
So you fucking knew?
No, I'm saying I don't think that's what happened. but,
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that would have made me laugh. Like, Bobby doesn't even know he's not on camera.
That is pretty funny.
Like we did Happy Gilmore, with our friend Alan Covert.
Uh-huh.
And we made him play a homeless guy. And so we told him like you can play the homeless guy, but you have to start growing a beard now, like 6 months before the movie shot.
Yeah.
But really, the whole idea of him playing a homeless